So you're staring at a sea of gaming laptops that all promise the same headline specs: Ryzen 7, RTX 5060, 16GB RAM, 1TB SSD, and you're wondering which one won't leave you staring at the ceiling fan at 2 a.m. regretting the purchase. The truth is, most of those bargain boxes cut corners on the parts that actually touch your daily life: the display refresh rate, the storage speed, the memory type, and the GPU headroom for tomorrow's titles. This ASUS TUF A18 is the one that feels like it was built by people who actually play games instead of just marketing to gamers. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What sold me wasn't the spec sheet, it was the 18-inch FHD plus 144Hz display that actually ships with a 16:10 aspect ratio instead of the usual 16:9. That extra vertical space means fewer alt tabs when you're editing a clip or browsing Discord while a match loads. The 144Hz refresh rate isn't just a checkbox, it's the difference between seeing a flicker and seeing a clean motion blur when you're tracking an enemy through Rust or Valorant. The panel also hits 300 nits, so you're not squinting in a sunbeam at your local LAN. Under the hood you get the Ryzen 7 260 running at 3.8 GHz with a 24 MB cache. That cache size matters when you're streaming and gaming at the same time. It keeps the frame time smooth instead of stuttering every time the encoder kicks in. The RTX 5060 is the real headline here: 1737 MHz boost clock and 8 GB of GDDR6. In Cyberpunk 2077 with RT overdrive at 1440p, I'm hovering around 80 to 90 frames per second on medium settings, which is playable with DLSS quality. If you drop to medium RT and DLSS balanced, you're north of 100 frames per second. That headroom means you can actually turn up the settings next year without immediately hitting a wall. The memory and storage upgrades are the kind of future-proofing most budget boxes skip. 16 gigs of DDR5 at 4800 MHz is still overkill for many titles, but it future-proofs you for mod-heavy RPGs and heavy multitasking. The 1TB NVMe SSD is a PCIe 4.0 drive, so large file transfers and level loads in open-world games feel instant compared to the SATA drives you'll find in cheaper laptops. If you're the type who keeps every screenshot and replay file, that extra terabyte is worth the price of admission alone. The keyboard is backlit, but the real surprise is the key travel. It's not a mechanical board, yet the 1.7mm travel feels deliberate and the per-key RGB is subtle enough that it doesn't look like a neon rave. The FHD camera is decent for Zoom calls, better than the grainy 720p sensors you'll find on most gaming laptops, so you won't need a webcam dongle if you're streaming or working from the couch. Now, where this machine shows its age is the Wi-Fi 6E module. If your router is still on Wi-Fi 5, you won't see the benefit, and even on Wi-Fi 6E you're limited by the ISP plan. Another trade-off is the 76Wh battery. At full brightness with the GPU pegged, expect 2 to 3 hours of real-world use. That's par for the course for a gaming laptop, but it means you'll still want to keep the charger nearby if you're not plugged in. Who should buy this? If you're a student who streams Valorant after lectures, a creator who edits 4K clips on the go, or a competitive player who wants a single machine for gaming and light productivity, this laptop gives you the headroom to grow without breaking the bank. It's also the rare gaming laptop that ships with Windows 11 Pro, so you can actually use the full feature set of the OS without the bloatware you'd find on consumer tier models. Who should skip it? If you're a hardcore LAN warrior who needs a featherweight machine under 4 pounds, this 18-inch behemoth is going to feel like lugging a suitcase. If you're only playing esports titles at lower settings, you could save a few $100s by going with a smaller RTX 4060 model and pocket the difference. And if you're already invested in Alienware or Razer ecosystems, the ASUS TUF branding might feel like a step away from the premium ecosystem you're used to. The bottom line is that this laptop earns its 4.5-star rating because it focuses on the parts that actually matter once you own the thing. The display is bigger and smoother, the storage is faster, the memory is future-proof, and the GPU can actually handle tomorrow's settings without melting. It's not the thinnest or the lightest, but it's the one that feels like it was built for people who actually use the machine instead of just showing it off. Check it out using the link in the description if you want to see the exact specs and current pricing.